Ladies and gentlemen, I've already made one video giving you guys my opinion on Modern Warfare 3, and for the most part, that video was pretty positive. As far as it went, I had to say that I've been enjoying the multiplayer, I've been enjoying the zombies, and I liked what they've added in and changed in the game to make it better, and we talked about the whole DLC aspect of the game. Now, I want to make a video going over the negative things about the game. Now, a lot of these can absolutely be fixed, and I hope a lot of these are fixed. However, some of them, I don't even see them addressing, and you'll see what I mean when they get into those. But I just wanted to put my other side of the opinion out there, tell you what I don't like about the game, and hopefully some of these, if not all of these, can be fixed before the end of the game, or maybe even going into the next Call of Duty game. Now, all of the gameplay that you are going to be seeing in this video is going to be from my live stream. I did an open lobby today, and if you ever want to play some Call of Duty with me, you want to check out the live stream, it is linked down in the description. The next stream, I think, will be on Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to play with me, that's your opportunity. I also have some other Call of Duty videos going up on my second channel, which will also be linked down in the description. But as far as this video goes, we are going to be going over what I believe are the 5 worst things about Modern Warfare 3. Okay, I'm going to dive into it right away with a bonus one. I'm not putting this on the list because this whole list has to do with multiplayer, and this one is not multiplayer. This is campaign. Let's just be honest, the campaign is probably the worst thing about Modern Warfare 3. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it is way too short. And number two, it is boring. Call of Duty campaigns can't be boring. I do think that there were good story elements within the campaign, but as far as the campaign goes, it is just boring. It's supposed to be a Michael Bay movie put into a video game with big set pieces, big moments, big plot twists, and that just didn't really happen in this game. There's like no missions in the Modern Warfare 3 campaign that I'm like, wow, that was insane. Wow, I didn't see that coming. There was really nothing like that. And the gameplay mechanics with those open combat missions were boring as well. So watching it, playing it just didn't have that wow factor that a Call of Duty campaign should. And I think that's why a lot of people are disappointed. On top of that, it is very short. And that's kind of the gist of it. Now, let's dive into the multiplayer stuff. I'm going to start off with the big one because I think everyone knows that this is going to be on the list, and that is skill-based matchmaking. As far as skill-based matchmaking goes, I feel like I shouldn't even be talking about it because it's not going to change. This is the one thing on this list that I don't think has any opportunity to change whatsoever. The fact that none of the developers, none of the publishers even mention skill-based matchmaking ever means that they're just going to do it and keep doing it and doing it. And let's be clear, skill-based matchmaking is more so retention-based matchmaking, in which it's based off of your recent play. So if you have 6 bad games in a row, they're going to put you in an easier lobby to keep you playing for longer. Problem with this is that you never actually feel like you're getting any better whatsoever. You start doing good, they put you in a higher tier, those people are better than you, they do good, you get knocked back down, and you're kind of in this limbo, and you never feel like you're actually improving whatsoever, when in reality, if you're playing a lot, you probably are improving. Other things go into this, like lobbies disbanding in-game. That sucks. You're never able to build any sort of rivalry with anyone that you're playing against. I like to play Search and Destroy, and if you're playing Search and Destroy, you can't talk smack and then get put in the same lobby with them. Or if you get in a good lobby where you're stomping on people, it's just gone the next game, and that plays right back into that retention or skill-based matchmaking, whatever you want to call it. I'm kind of just exhausted from talking about that one, though, because it's not going to change, and it's just not. They're not going to talk about it. They're not going to bring it up. It's not going to be in patch notes. They're not going to say, we've made skill-based matchmaking easier. It's not happening. It's there to stay, and it just sucks. And could it be the death of Call of Duty eventually? Maybe, but it's not going anywhere. So what can you do? Now, one that can definitely change, and I hope does, is the pace of play in Modern Warfare 3. Let me explain this one. So right now there is 6v6 and there is ground war. We're not talking about ground war here. We're talking about 6v6. As far as 6v6 goes, with the Modern Warfare 2 maps that were brought back, most of these are medium to large size maps. Most of them, I would say like 10 out of the 15 maps are medium to large size. Then we have a couple of small ones and a couple of really big ones like Derail. Hopefully I never have to play that map. Now, the problem with this is we only have 6v6 mode. There's no combat pacing and there is no ground war. Now you may think I'm crazy for saying that, but if you played Modern Warfare 2 back in the day, there was a ground war mode in that game that wasn't like ground war that we play now. It just was a mode with team deathmatch and domination that had more players in it. And if you take almost all of the maps in this game and add 2 extra players to each team, making it 8v8, I think this game would play so much faster and so much better. Now, some games are fine. When you get into a lobby with people who are running around and playing well, the game plays, it works. But when you get into a game where people are sentinels, as they like to call them, camping in corners and hard to find, the game just slows down so much just because those maps are a little bit too big. So I think there's two possibilities to fix this. Number one, combat pacing. Add in a mode that is 8v8 on all of the maps, and I think people would really like it. Option number two is add in smaller maps. And I think they will do this even starting with Season 1. I would not be surprised if Shipment returns. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing because then everyone's just going to want to play Shipment all the time. And I don't love that. So adding in smaller maps, apparently they're adding in 3 new maps with every single season. If there's smaller maps, that fixes that 6v6 slower paced issue. If they add in combat pacing or a mode that's 8v8, that also fixes that. So this is a very easy one to fix. And honestly, it's probably the smallest problem on this list. Now, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you wouldn't have seen this, but yesterday when that update went live, you're actually able to go in game into private matches and see what the planned playlists are for the next week. And as it turns out, they are planning on a Rust 24/7 playlist and a 10v10 Mosh Pit playlist, which is essentially exactly what I'm talking about in this video. So it looks like they have something planned like this in the future, which is a good thing. Also, they announced that with Season 1, we are going to be getting another small map. It is called Meat. The other one, the next one, this one I just don't understand, is the level cap. The level cap right now is level 55, and I just don't understand why they do this whatsoever. The game comes out, everyone wants to play it, everyone's grinding it, it's the time of the year that most people play, and then all of a sudden, your progression stops. You hit 55, it's just done. Yes, you can level up weapons. Yes, you can complete challenges, everything like that. But for people who want to hit those higher levels, why does it just have to end? Why do they have to put a cap on it so early? And yes, they are going to be upping it with Season 1. I'm assuming it's going to work like Modern Warfare 2, where it's 200 extra levels every single season. But I don't understand why that needs to be the way. Why can't they just have 1,500 levels to start out with the game and say, you have from now until the next game to hit 1,500? People would do it right away, yes, but why does there need to be this kind of retaining wall that you has to be knocked down every single season to stop people from playing more in the early seasons? Wouldn't they want people playing their game more? It could have to do with microtransactions, that they put out microtransactions throughout the year. They want to keep people playing throughout the year, and if they put that level gate in there, people have to wait until the next season to level up more, which is going to cause people to play for more seasons. It could be. But just open it up. Do a different prestige system. Have it so that you can level up right away, because I'm bored of not leveling up like literally a week after the game launches. And I think at this point, most of the lobbies that I see, everyone is 55. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you agree with any of these things, disagree, have other opinions, have other things you don't like, let me know down below. Now, the next one, I'm going to tie 2 in together, and that is the Armory system and the UI. UI sucks in this game. I heard a rumor a few months ago that the person that made the UI for Call of Duty was actually hired from Netflix. I don't know if that was a joke or this is true, but you can definitely see some big time inspiration. I don't know why we need giant boxes to tell us what game modes we are going to play. And then they implement things like the Armory system, which the user interface on that is hard to understand as well for some people. And they don't know what they're unlocking, what the best thing to unlock is, what is queued and what is not queued. And that sucks. So all in all, I think we all know this. The user interface sucks. The Call of Duty HQ is just silly. So yeah, I think a lot of people don't like that one. I think that's obvious. Now, as far as the Armory unlocks goes, I have a weird opinion on this that I think a lot of people won't agree with. The system in and of itself, I actually like. I like that it promotes doing your daily challenges and then getting wins. Causes you to play the game differently and for people to play the objective. I like that. It's very seldom in Call of Duty games that people actually play to win. People play domination and play hardpoint simply to have a longer game mode with set spawns that's easier to read, and then they can frag out and get more kills. But if you're rewarded for getting wins, it causes people to actually play the objective, which guess what? Makes the gameplay better. That's good. What isn't good is that things that change the game, weapons, perks, attachments, kill streaks, are all gated behind this Armory system, and it takes more time to unlock. Yes, you can choose what order you do it in, which is nice, but it takes longer to unlock, which people aren't going to like. And on top of that, you kind of have to rely on your team being good, and with the skill-based matchmaking put in, that can be very, very frustrating. And now you're reliant on getting wins. It's time gated behind you getting wins, and it gets frustrating when you don't get wins. And all in all, I like the system to promote winning games, but game-changing items should not be locked behind it. So if these were like weapon charms, camos, things like that, sure, let me grind for those. Let me go for wins. Let me be that person who gets 5,000 wins in a year and has that top tier item. Love it. But the way that it works now, it scares me, because what is going to be locked behind here moving forward with season 1, with season 2, with season 3? Are they going to put weapon conversion kits in there? Are they going to put other weapons in there? People don't like the Armory unlock system, so how are they going to do that? I think people would much prefer just doing a weapon challenge, like getting kills in smoke or things like that, than having to get wins or wait for daily challenges. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And then finally, this is a surprising one, and this is one that I have to admit I was wrong about: weapon balance. As far as weapon balance goes in this game, weapon balance isn't as good as I thought it was. I don't think it's horrible. It's not the worst weapon balance we've ever seen in game, but the problem with weapon balance, simply, ARs are way too good, and SMGs completely suck. So, all in all, I think the weapon balance as a whole isn't too bad, but ARs are too good, and I think what they should do to balance this correctly is not nerf the hell out of ARs. They should take the other weapons that aren't as good and put them up to the same level as ARs. Now, the big problem with SMGs is the time to kill of the SMGs is very similar to the time to kill of the ARs, and the range on them sucks compared to the ARs, as it should. So there needs to be some sort of checks and balances put into place there. I think another reason why people are saying that the ARs are so good is a lot of these maps that we talked about are mid to large size, which means that those medium to long gunfights are going to be more important. And guess what guns are good at medium to long gunfights? Assault rifles. So I think if something like Shipment or a super small map is put into the game, things like SMGs and shotguns are actually going to have an opportunity to do better, and that balance might be a little bit better. But as a whole, I definitely think SMGs need a big tuning to them, because right now they're just not competitive with the ARs whatsoever. Essentially, I believe those are the 5 worst things right now in Modern Warfare 3. The good news about this is like 4 of those 5 things could actually be fixed moving forward, which is really, really good. Normally when I make these videos, I'm like, these things just aren't getting fixed. Like last year when I said, I want red dots back, I want the normal movement back, I kind of knew those things weren't going to happen, that they weren't actually going to change those things. This year, I have a little bit of faith. I have faith that these things that we talked about in this video can actually be fixed and take a game that I'm enjoying from a level that's good to is actually really, really great. And I have faith. I have my fingers crossed. I am hopeful that these will happen. Now, if they address skill-based matchmaking, I would be floored. And if they made it better, that would be incredible. But I don't think that'll happen, because I think that's an Activision decision, and Activision just doesn't even acknowledge that kind of thing. But if I missed anything, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you agree with what I said, if you disagreed, feel free to let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace. We are